people will react very differently to you if you speak to them in their mother tongue. Even if you speak very basic Spanish or Italian or Arabic, they appreciate that you make an effort about learning their language, and they're much more willing to make efforts themselves to communicate with you. Really, I mean, I'm really talking about even just going into a shop and saying, I'm sorry, I don't speak French, but doing it in French, do you speak English? You will get a much better reaction. And it's also gives the message that you don't expect other people to speak your language automatically. So I think for relationship it's very good, be it in travels or business relationships. On a longer term basis, it's also very good to discover culture or to know more about people, because through the language you can know much more about the culture than if you speak in another language, just because you don't express things in the same way in different languages, and the language really represents the culture and the attitude of people. The majority of my students tell me when they learn a foreign language that they actually learn about their own language because they never really thought about the way their language is structured, or maybe they've never actually done much grammar in their own language. So suddenly they become aware of features of their language which they weren't aware of before, and they quite like discovering this. For a lot of people, it's also about discovering communication skills, or other kind of skills in effect, but or strategies or learning strategies, because it's not an easy thing to do, to learn a foreign language. When you do this, you need to develop some strategies. You need to, for example, maybe you're not someone who naturally speaks very much, but you need to find ways of speaking more, because if you want to learn the language, you're going to have to speak more. So your tutor will give you tips on, for example, asking follow-up questions, and you find sometimes people really enjoy being forced to communicate, because suddenly they develop communication skills that maybe they can apply in other areas of their life. I actually teach a lot of older students. A lot of them are retired, and one of their main reasons is to keep their brain active. And language is scientifically recognized to keep to use a lot of part of your brain. I'm not a scientist, but it does keep your brain very active and makes you work on your memory.